Okay, so welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews podcast on a sunny day in Niagara on the lake. Today we have a big Benz. It's a 1994 Mercedes-Benz S500 Coupe. Followers of the website for 16 plus months might recognize it. We sold this car in the summer of 2023, and often sellers tell us the reason they're selling the car is because they no longer drive it. Of course, we're not usually selling daily driver cars, so that kind of thing happens. So here we are in this 94 S500, formerly lot 117 on collectorcarcanada.ca. It's now lot 232 on collectorcarcanada.ca. We took a look at the former listing and we noted in CCC Vital Info, where we put some critical data down in point form, that we listed it at 220,000 kilometers last year. It might surprise you to know that we usually round up on the odometer readings in that box. I think it's got to do with me being the decision maker on it, and I approach this more from a customer point of view than a car seller. I've been a customer for more of my life than I have been a car seller. So all that to say, this seller is another one of those people who told us he doesn't use his car much, and in this case, we're going to be able to believe him. I looked at the photos from last year's lot 117, and I saw that the odometer at the time was between 219,300, 219,400. I don't know precisely, but you can look it up. I just don't remember from when I looked it up earlier. The odometer currently sits at 220,242. So we'll list it at 221,000 on CCC Vital Info. But I can tell you that the car has rolled less than 1,000 kilometers from when we photographed it last year. It was June or July. Again, lot 117 if you want to look it up. And our new lot number is lot 232. But we're going to do our normal thing with the car review video. Please remember to share this video if you think there's someone who might be interested in the car. Throw us a like. It helps the YouTube algorithms get the car videos to the people who are interested in them. And also, please click on the subscribe button. It'll help get the videos to you just as soon as they're released. So be the first on your block to see our car review videos. In any event, let's move on and I'll get the car started. We'll listen to the engine, the exhaust, and we'll take a little tour. Here we go. So a nice easy start. We're rolling here. What I'll do now is take a listen to the engine and exhaust, and then we'll move on with the rest of the tour. So we'll pump the hood. There it is. Now I'll come grab the camera for a handheld camera portion of the video. Followers of the site will also be familiar with us having sold some R107 body styles of Mercedes-Benz. So that's the 72 to 89 SL class. And those ones, the hood release, the second release is a lot like this one. You reach inside the emblem here in the grille for a release. I'll mention that this is a W140 body style, but the second release is in there. And that's how we get the hood up. So look like a pro when you're opening Mercedes hoods by knowing that for the R107, W140. There are probably some other classes too. So this one is suffering for a little dust here, but there's a very prominent three-pointed star and big block letters stating what make of car we're working with here. So this is from the era where Mercedes told you the engine displacement by the first two digits in the numerical portion of the model. So this is an S500 to denote a 5.0 liter engine, 5 liter V8 in this Mercedes S500. So let's move in on that fan and belts. We'll hear it. So a nice smooth idle. Show you some more of the labeling here. There's the option codes. We'll decode that in the listing. another sound from the other side. So this car, as Mercedes people will have noticed already, it's equipped with big AMG monoblock wheels. We'll get in closer to those for the exterior tour portion of the video. For now, let's get a listen to this these twin exhaust pipes here on the left side, driver's side. All right, so I think we're done with the engine running. I'm gonna cut the engine. And then we can close that hood as well. You can see there's no prop rod held up by the supports there in the corners at the A-pillar. Well held up. That needed a push to get closed. So again, we've got a 1994 Mercedes-Benz S500 Coupe. It's equipped with the 5-liter V8 engine, and it's got a 4-speed automatic, getting the power to the rear wheels only. Finished in black with some gray cladding towards the bottom, and the interior is gray leather. You'll see that we've got the sliding sunroof open. It's got both a tilt function and a slider. So we'll cruise in and have a good look at these AMG wheels. This one's not a perfect wheel. I'll also tell you that the car is equipped with 2 pairs of tires. So Michelin's up front here. We'll get a good look at them. And in a minute, we'll have a look at the Goodyears in the rear. So Michelin Latitude here in the front. And they measured 235, 55, R18. Date code on these, 2018. And I'd say the tread is pretty good for this touring Latitude tire. It's T-rated for speed, but there's a good look at the outside of the wheel. So there's a little bit of decay on the outside of that wheel, but not too bad for a refinish. AMG wheel. And then good look at the black paint. The owner gave this a very quick wash before we got here. It's not perfectly clean, but black paint, of course, doesn't let you get away with anything. So here's a look at the rear AMG wheel. We've got a staggered setup with these tires. This Goodyear Eagle RSA is size 245, 55, 18, and it's got a V speed rating. And I see a date code of 2020 for the rear tires. And I can feel a pretty good tread on there still too. So no problem with dating. But they have rolled a bit, and we'll get a look at that rim. So from a distance, these wheels, there's no big jagged cuts out of them. But up close, you do see some imperfections. Though from here, it's pretty hard to see it. But this gives a great rear 3/4 view of the big coupe. Pillarless, looks really great with the windows open. You see right through the car, as you see here. So again, this is lot 232 on collectorcarcanada.ca, and you can see that arm I was mentioning for the seat belt, it's tucked away right now. It just comes out when the car gets started, and of course it stays in place for seatbelt comfort while the car is underway and the passengers are wearing the seat belts. So this one is a 5-liter V8, as I mentioned. The same body style was offered as an S600 with a V12 engine. And the giveaway on those is there's a badge right here that says V12. So that's how you'd know you've got an S600, in addition to the badge being different here by 1 digit. I think my favorite thing about these cars are shown right here. We tried to shoot a video of this earlier. I'm on my own today. I'm not sure if I was able to pull off a solo video or not. But these are antennae that are not related to the radio. There's one on each side, and they pop up about 6 inches when the car's reverse gear is engaged. So our Mercedes is addressing with those the fact that it's really hard to see out the back of the car when you're parking it or reversing. So you get a sense of where the end of your car is with those antennae. I think I kind of like the old school nature of it. They're addressing it without having to put a camera on the rear. So there's a good look at the rear of the car on this beautiful sunny day here in Niagara. The car is equipped with a tire hitch. I certainly know that the current owner has not used it for any towing. But with the 5-liter V8, the car's got lots of power and torque. Check our detailed listing, please, for the exact figures. Here's another period piece that I really like on these old Benzes. You might have heard me say this before about others we've had, but this taillight with the ridged finish is designed like that, not for style, although I find it really stylish. But the reason it's styled like that is for any road debris or snow that gets caught in the lens. You're going to be able to see the function of the lens on the inside of these ridges. The outside will probably take all of the dirt or snow. I am noticing a ding here. I'll pull out a coin to give you a sense of the size of it. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up or not because it is pretty small. So if you can see it, there's the coin beside it. So pretty small, but there is a ding there behind the driver's side tail light. Power antenna. We did test that earlier, and I can attest to its functionality. And then moving around the trunk here, it just releases like that, and then I'll do that again because it's quite fancy. So this is unlocked right now. So you press this button. It's going to be on the camera because I can get them both on the camera. So when I press that button, we get a handle to pull the trunk lid up. We remember this from last year. Someone spilled some bleach in the back of this car, but I do know it's been there over a year, so it's not spreading anymore, but it does show some discoloration in the gray. Just the matte. Oh, and maybe a tiny bit here on the carpet that's installed right under the car. But so long as I'm here, let's take a look at the trunk. You do see these towing wires to connect lights for your trailer if you're ever going to use this for towing. The former owner of this car, we remember him well. He also had an S500, so the V12 version of the car. And when he was moving and it was time to have to give up one of them, he decided to keep the V12. And there's a spare down there. It's a Michelin Energy tire with the spare kit. I see a tire right there, a jack. That's a good sense. So with the trunk, pretty massive trunk for a two-door car. Pretty good sized trunk, but S-Class is kind of the flagship for Mercedes. So even though it's a two-door, it's a good sized car, full-size Mercedes. Here's the antenna on the passenger side for reversing. Now I'm shooting into the sun. I don't know what the light's going to look like, but there's a good look from the our passenger's 3/4. I do see a bit of a blemish here in the corner of the bumper cover. So it looks okay. So let's take a look at the AMG wheel and the passenger side rear. This one's the best of the three we've looked at so far. Not perfect, a little bit of scuffing here, but very presentable. And again, matching the other rear tire, a Goodyear Eagle RSA, date coded 2020 with the V rating. And so long as we're here, there's the fuel door, nice and clean. I won't say clean in terms of cleanliness, but clean in terms of corrosion. No corrosion in there, and some tire data on the inner door. So here's a good look at the black finish on the shaded side of the car right now. It's a little difficult when we're shooting into the sun, but there's a good look at the black over the gray cladding. And then the front AMG wheel on the passenger side. Again, some scuffing up here on the edge of the rim. There's that AMG logo. And again, matching the other front tire. It's a Michelin Latitude tire, date coded 2018, and I think it was age speed rated. If I contradicted myself, please refer to the what I said about the driver's side front tire, because there I could read it. There, here it's covered by the grass. But there's a good look at the car from the passenger 1/4 end. And moving around, some fog lights in the front, big Mercedes emblem in the grille, and then another right there on the hood above it. So that's a good look at the exterior of the car with the headlight wipers, green period, trademark Mercedes in the 90s. So we'll jump in the car and have a look at the interior. So this car needs a good detail. There's no two ways about that. But can benefit from a shampoo. But underneath it isn't too bad at all. Maybe that mat would benefit from a replacement. And there's a good look at the seat. Again, it could use a good clean with some good leather cleaner. But I don't see any real imperfection of it. Maybe a little bit of cracking from over the years. And the power seats are over on this side, on the door, as is consistent with a lot of 90s Mercedes product. You see the same over on the passenger side. Memory seats for both driver and passenger. And then I'll climb in and we can get a good look at the wood appointments. 2 speakers right there on the door. 3 speakers on the door, look at that. But yeah, the real wood appointments on the dash and the steering wheel really do indicate you're dealing with a first-class car of the 90s here. This was top of the line. Well, S-Class is the flagship for Mercedes. So this is the best they had in 1994. Here's a good look at that odometer. 220,242. Again, this owner bought the car maybe a bit on a whim and hasn't driven it since buying it at 219,300. But instrumentation pretty complete. Got a tack over there on the left, up to 7,000. The speedo goes to 260, and I would not put it by this car that would do that speed at the track. Over on the left, we've got an instant fuel economy gauge, as well as coolant temperature and oil pressure measured in bar, the German standard. Farther left, a fuel gauge, and then over here to the right, we've got a functional clock. And then in the center, we've got the HVAC system, automatic climate control. I can report that the air conditioner is functional. We tested that earlier. And this stock Mercedes-Benz AM/FM cassette with an ashtray here. I can report that the lighter inside is functional. We used it to charge a phone earlier. Power windows in the center, power mirrors up on the left, and then that's the sunroof function as well. And this phone holder, there's a screw in there, so you need a screwdriver to take that out if that's what you want to do. And then indicator for an airbag over here on the passenger side. A lot cleaner floor mat here on the passenger side too. So that gives you a good look. And I'd say also that the passenger side seat is cleaner than the driver's side. The key for the car is not glamorous. We won't try to hide that. I'm just trying to fiddle with it here to show it off. But there's a look at it. So assume that the button or remote functionality is not functional. It's just held together with that tape. So if you wanted to go whole hog, you'd need to order a new key, which you can do at a dealer. If you want to pay premium price, you could probably find one on eBay and get it programmed and cut to fit this car. And we'll get a look at the rear seat with the rear window coming down. It's pretty easy to do from outside of the car here. Quite clean. So 4 buckets in this car, just a 2-place rear seating area with plenty more wood inside there as well, and window controls and headrest controls in the center as well, with some storage in that grooved area behind it. So I'll take one last walk around of the car, and then we'll move to some closing thoughts. I just noticed a ding in the hood, and I'll show you with my famous coin as well. So zooming in on the ding on the hood, here it is. So there's a good look at the 1994 Mercedes-Benz S500 Coupe with a 5-liter V8. The 4-speed automatic gets the power to the rear wheels. The wheels themselves are AMG monoblocks, 18-inch. And this car is going to be lot 232 on collectorcarcanada.ca. Check out all the details there. It's sitting at 221,000 kilometers and ready for a new owner. So again, lot 232, collectorcarcanada.ca, 1994 Mercedes-Benz S500 Coupe with the big 5-liter V8. Thanks for watching.